for joining us this afternoon. I'm Tanisha Harris for YBEtv, and joining us today we have a special guest, Mr. Brandon Trainer. Now, Mr. Trainer is the CEO and president of the North Carolina Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. So thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, for our audience, can you explain to us what exactly is the North Carolina Regional Chamber of Commerce and your role in it?
The North Carolina Regional Black Chamber is, I like to think of it as a meeting ground for African American professionals and entrepreneurs to come and share ideas, learn of new products, and really just network and build those personal networks for themselves so that they can do business at a larger capacity. As far as my role, I have more of a managing role of the staff, as well as a coaching role for our entrepreneurs. We offer different services such as business coaching, administrative services, things of that nature, as well as like a live receptionist service. So we have a lot of services that need to be managed, of course, as well as engaging the community. So we have several boards from our political action committee, education committee, community advisory boards, things of that nature. And these are all boards that I'm very active with, being in the board meetings and really, again, listening to the community so that I can gauge where we need to be as an organization.
Now, do you feel like the community has been receptive to kind of an organization such as this?
Oh, absolutely. They have welcomed us with open arms, both in Raleigh as well as in Greensboro. So yes, I could not have asked for a better reception, honestly, from the community. And again, as long as we continue to service the community and give them the best of the best, I feel that the reception will always be warm and inviting.
Now, you are the CEO and president. What path did you take to open up this organization?
Honestly, I had the education to back me, of course. Got my degree from Harvard University in economics, as well as being in the business community. I was an analyst for Comcast Communications, and then just moving to this area and networking, doing exactly what it is that business owners do, going out, selling our products, selling our vision, letting the community know that we're here to increase the ability to recycle our dollars in our community. We're here to make sure that our young people have fighting opportunities to become entrepreneurs, to further their education, and again to help them build their own personal networks. So really, the path that it took was, of course, the education, building those strong networks, and then listening to my consumer, listening to my business owners, listening to the community, and those that I serve.
Now, you just spoke on the young people. Now, for our young black youth, education seems to not be a top priority right now. However, it was influential in your success. What are your views about education, and what message would you like to send to our young black youth about the importance of education?
There was a famous African American gentleman, and I can't remember his name at this time, but he said that the road out of poverty passes the schoolhouse. And honestly, I think that speaks for itself.
Yeah. It's pretty powerful.
Do you have to go to college? That's a debate that I would like to leave on the table. However, you do need to educate yourself in the individual trade that you're going to be in. So for the young man that enjoys cutting hair and wants to be a barber, be the best barber that you can be. Mm-hmm. For that young woman that wants to be a consultant, be the best consultant that you're going to be. Research where you want to go with your life. Research the field that you want to go in and find out what's necessary. Because guess what? If you want to be a CEO of an organization like this, where you're leading other entrepreneurs, where you're leading a team, you're going to need to know some things. You're going to need to know a few people. And people are going to expect you to be able to walk the walk and talk the talk.
Yeah. So you're going to need to know information, education, and you're also going to need to know people. So we have all these social, websites out there, specifically aimed at networking, like Facebook, Twitter, MySpace. How can our younger audience kind of use those media platforms to network? What is the appropriate way that they can use those medias to achieve their goals?
Well, it's one of those things that I was told that if you don't want your boss to know about it, don't put it on the internet. So if you called in sick 2 days ago, but yet you have pictures of you at a party on Facebook, I don't think that would be very wise. But the social media is twofold. I personally am on, you name it, and I'm on it, from Facebook to LinkedIn and everything in between.
Yeah.
And it's important so that I can reach more people in a shorter period of time. Mm-hmm. However, it's very important that we get behind our computers. It's very important that we actually get out there and spend some face-to-face time. Taking your client or someone that you respect and look up to out for coffee. I know it's a tough economic time for us right now, but you know what? Coffee is only $2. So you maybe need to have water that day, and that person that you're treating may get the coffee. But it's very important that we go beyond just I'm going to tweet you or Facebook you and check out your status. I'm going to actually spend some time getting to know you. And that's what's important when you're building those relationships. Finding out what it is that your mentor, your client, what they like beyond just the titles that they hold. Because ultimately, beyond our title, I'm still just Brandon. I'm still a normal guy that, enjoys jazz and other different things in life.
Yeah. I think one of the main problems, though, is that, especially with the younger kids, is that they take these Twitter personalities and they try to become them.
Right.
And so they really don't see the value of the face-to-face time, but that is important.
Absolutely. And it's important for our adults, parents, guardians, whomever that young person's looking up to also spend time explaining to them the value of building relationships. I remember when I was younger, if someone did something for me, my mother would demand that I write a thank you letter to them. And I remember saying, "Oh, Mom, this is crazy. This is ridiculous. I don't want to do this." But to this very day, it's again another contribution to my success, because when someone meets with me, I actually send them a thank you card with my business card, just saying, "Hey, thank you for that time that you spent with me." And again, that helps to build that relationship. That helps to get beyond the emails, the Blackberries, the Facebooks, and everything else that sometimes get in the way of us building those relationships. So I think if we continue to educate our young people, because they're very intelligent people, as long as we continue to educate them and also show them that we're even doing it as busy professionals, we're getting out there, going to networking events, and inviting them to the networking events. All of our networking events are totally free for our students and our young people to come out to, because they need to see these business professionals. They need to see folks that are in charge of the Ciscos and the IBMs and the Food Lions. We sometimes take for granted going to Kmart and picking up a sweater or something like that, but who's the marketing director? How did she get to become the marketing director of this large corporation?
Now, how do we get our kids to think on a level like that? How do we educate them if this is not being taught in their classrooms? The importance of networking and making relationships.
Honestly, it shows like this: getting out and interviewing entrepreneurs, getting out interviewing people that are in the business that are doing it. Showing them is the best teaching method in my personal opinion, because you can tell me about it all day long, but if you actually invite me out to a networking event, if I'm looking on television and see this person that looks like me saying, "Hey, this is important. Hey, guess what? This is how I got here. Follow this step and you'll get there as well." So I think it shows like this, and us just using our time to give back to the young people, to let them know, hey, this is what worked for me, and just repetition. Even in marketing, we do it. People will buy a radio ad, and in 2 weeks they wonder why their phone isn't ringing off the hook. Well, it takes at least 90 days. It takes repetition before you're going to see that increase in your profit. So again, educating them and just repeating to them, this is what it's going to take. Let me show you what successful people are currently doing.
Now, for my last question, what ultimate message was twofold. What ultimate message would you like to share with our young Black youth? And what message do you have to the older adults in the Black community who can have an influence to impact our young Black youth?
Well, we were talking about it earlier, honestly, and that's us trusting one another. That's honestly what it comes down to. Giving one another that opportunity to do business with one another. For our young people, listening to our older folks, because they've been down that road, and I do it often. I have a network of folks that I can just pick up the phone and say, hey, let's just go to dinner and talk, because I just don't know what to do. What has worked for you, and us hashing it out. So just like your question was twofold, the answer is twofold as well, because it's us networking, us trusting one another, us getting back to where we used to be as a people. We have created some phenomenal things for this great country, and it was because we came together. It's because it didn't matter the age. It was, this person is sold out for this cause, they're on my team. And ultimately, that's what it takes to be successful in business. Surrounding yourself with people that are sold out, ultimately, on your product. Oh, wow, this is the best thing ever. I'm going to continue to buy it. That's why we go to the same barbers. That's why we go to the same stores, because they do what we like. So us trusting one another, us building our strong networks, and us just working together to continue on this great path that we've been on for so long.
Now I do have one more question.
Sure.
How do organizations like the Black Chamber of Commerce, what is the trickle-down influence to our young people today? Because I feel like, some of the, let's say we're talking to a young man that's in high school, would he be interested in a Black Chamber of Commerce? Would he see it as something that's beneficial to him? How do we communicate that message that this is also for him too?
I don't think we need to so much, in my opinion, sell him on the chamber, but sell him on the idea of networking with people that are where he wants to be. So I would again, let him know, well, this is what we do as a chamber, and we have a lot of, tools and gadgets in our little, what I say, called my Batman belt, that we can use. But really, for that young person, I would sell them on the networking opportunities. Because that networking opportunity can turn into an internship, which can turn into your first job, which can turn into your path on a new career.
All right. Well, Mr. Trainer, I've been enlightened, and we appreciate your time today. Now, if our audience would like to get any more information about the North Carolina Regional Chamber of Commerce, where can they go?
They can go to our website, which is www.therbcc.org, or at any time they can always call our office at 855-3NC-RBCC. I appreciate what you guys are doing, so I can't wait to see this. I'm going to tweet about it immediately afterwards, as well as Facebook and everything else. So, we're definitely a huge supporter of you guys, and want to make sure that more and more people are knowing about this. And we also invite you to any of the events that we are hosting in the Greensboro or Raleigh area. Anytime you want to come out, anytime you know of young people that want to attend, just give us a call. We'll welcome them with open arms.
Well, good. We appreciate it. See, we're networking.
Absolutely.
Networking. You guys see how this works? We're
Absolutely.
networking.